Here's the last 12 hours of world news in 3 minutes and 26 headlines. Apple shipped approximately 1.5 million iPhones from India to the United States via chartered cargo flights ahead of tariffs. U.S. President Trump signed an executive order modifying the federal definition of shower heads and other household appliances to increase water pressure. President Trump ordered the Department of Justice to investigate former Homeland Security officials Miles Taylor and Chris Krebs for alleged leaking of classified information and false statements about the 2020 election. The temporary pause on most U.S. tariffs ignited a surge in the Australian stock market, particularly benefiting major miners BHP and Rio Tinto. The price of Bitcoin is $81,517. OpenAI countersued Elon Musk, alleging harassment and unfair actions hindering OpenAI's transition to a for-profit model. India, Mexico, and Argentina remained silent as China criticized the US's reciprocal tariffs at the WTO in Geneva. Japan's Yamaguchi-gumi crime syndicate announced an end to a decade-long internal feud with its splinter faction, the Kobe Yamaguchi-gumi. Researchers in the UK developed a new at-home saliva test for prostate cancer that is more effective than the current blood test. Contemporary Amperex Technology, the world's largest electric vehicle battery maker, plans a Hong Kong IPO expected to raise around $5 billion. Indonesia launched a nationwide free nutritious meal program to improve children's nutrition and education. Nicaraguan president met with a Chinese Huawei delegation to discuss expanding cooperation between Nicaragua and Chinese companies. Australia rejected China's proposal for joint trade defense against U.S. tariffs. Amazon postponed the launch of its first 27 Kuiper internet satellites due to bad weather conditions. A survey in England reveals that over 90% of schools have banned mobile phone use. In Germany, new coalition government formed after a 2.5-month delay following February's election. U.S. Defense Secretary proposed reviving U.S. military bases in Panama to secure the Panama Canal, which was immediately rejected by the Panamanian government. Ukrainian president alleges that at least 155 Chinese citizens are fighting for Russia in Ukraine based on captured soldiers and intelligence. Chinese President Xi Jinping is touring Malaysia, Vietnam, and Cambodia to strengthen economic ties. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company reported a 42% revenue increase due to increased demand for AI and smartphones. A prisoner exchange between the United States and Russia occurred in Abu Dhabi. China's film administration announced a reduction in the number of imported U.S. films. Sudan accuses the UAE of complicity in genocide during Sudan's civil war, bringing the case before the International Court of Justice. A fire at children's cooking school in Singapore killed a 10-year-old Australian girl and injured over 20 others. Save the Children reports a worsening humanitarian crisis in Haiti caused by underfunded security forces struggling against powerful gangs in Port-au-Prince. Brazilian retail sales increased by 0.5% in February 2024, reaching a record high since data collection began in 2000. That's it for now. Check back in 12 hours for the next update or the channel for yesterday's news.